All right. Well, what's going on, fellas? Y'all already know what it is, man. It's Big Talk Sports. We here. Schedule is released. If you can't see the background, but you already know it's your boy DJ. Always the Tampa Bay Buccaneers representative, Kingston Southfield. But I'm here with the original brothers. This is the original cast. No closet.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I can't call it, man. Like I said, mess around with these schedules. I can't even get them together, but hey, we're gonna give a visual and talk about it. We're gonna get it in, man. You already know.
Yeah, man. You know what it is. It's your boy Mike Ricks, man. Carolina Panthers representative. We're gonna have fun on this schedule release, man. We're gonna have fun on this schedule release. Sorry for the kickback, man. Technical difficulties around my way, man. So sorry about that. I'm gonna eat that one. I'm gonna eat that one. So
a little shout out. So I see you, Dre. We already said it. Big Buck. What's good, my guy, man? You gotta drag some more people over from that other place, man. I ain't gonna say where it's from though. But
there you go.
It's true. What's good, my guy? Always see y'all here. What you talking about? But when division first. I always
be patient, man. I'm being patient.
Cartel was good, man. Oh, you gotta say what's up to TJ, huh? Just get everybody there. Let me turn his light a little bit, let everybody see this ugly mug.
Yeah, man. Schedule release today. Everybody did their videos, man. Were y'all able to check out your schedule release videos?
Man, I thought it was trash. I was gonna say that, man. I understand, they're trying to bring the excitement for Bucko Bruce, which again, I got me a Doug Williams creamsicle jersey upstairs. I love my creamsicle jersey, but they doing too much with it. They had a little. They're in the room typing up stuff. Tristan Wirfs, I'm sorry, you're not Allie or Donovan. You got to work on your acting skills. Like you had Cole Keefe in there with you. What about y'all, man? Mine was kind of trash.
Mine was it was all right, man. Usually I really like ours, man. It's very creative. I saw the theme around the league was script, and I think it was partly due because one of these players were talking about the script. I forgot who it was.
Arian Foster.
There you go. That's right, Arian Foster. Used to be with the Texans, man. Yeah, talking about the NFL script. So I think they were kind of, trying to throw a little shade and made everybody, because everybody in the South did a script. So I'm assuming everybody else did a script too. So that seemed to be mine was cool, man. It was cool. JJ Jensen did a great job, man. He's our veteran long snapper forever. So it was cool to see him get his flowers, man. He's been there through the ups and downs and ups. So I'm glad he was a producer and the main focal point in this one, man. But it was cool. It wasn't our best, but it was cool.
You saw yours, TJ?
Not really, man. Honestly, I just recently, I was doing like an interview. Shouts out to Corner Sports. Didn't really get an opportunity to look at it. Like some guys from Belly Up Media Network asked me to come on. I had a little bit of free time, and I was just chopping it up with them. But that was before the schedule actually came out. I mean, I seen I knew. Let me just be fair. I knew the schedule before it came out. You know, the shots out. I'm not gonna tell you. I can't. I told the person I wasn't gonna name them, but I knew the schedule since earlier today. But I mean, all in all, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a pretty decent schedule. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's really. I won't call it easy, but if the Saints don't make the playoffs, head's gonna have to roll. You know what I'm saying? Head's gonna have to roll.
Perfect segue. Let me go ahead and pull y'all's up because
I'm seeing 12-5. This is gonna be a fun season, man.
Yeah, man.
It's up for grabs.
I understand what you're saying, though. I mean, you guys really are setting yourselves up to, want to make that run. Because I was talking to a Saints fan who I've been cool with for a while now, probably for a couple of years. This man came out and just said, what did I say? He said, Mike, 13 and 4?
13 and 4.
I was like,
boy.
Wait. I'm like, is that like the ceiling? He's like, nah, like that's like where we need to be. He's like, that's more the floor. I'm like, wait, nah.
Boy,
I kept on trying to give my opportunity, like, pick yourself up off the floor, right? I was like, man, all right. You seriously think y'all, like, if y'all don't hit 13 and 3 is a problem? He's like, nah, we're one of the 3 best teams in the NFC. Okay. Cool.
Hey, I ain't got no problem with that. I mean, you look at the NFC. I mean, it ain't that really that strong. So if a person has that type of confidence, I can't even get mad at him.
I ain't get mad. I just, I'm gonna let it ride for what it is. I ain't gonna do that to myself. All right. So as you can see, this is the Saints schedule kicking off. I'm assuming the black is home. I mean, away, or is it home?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so you're kicking off at home against Tennessee. Oh, yeah, so we got the ads. Okay, I see now. Like I said, I haven't seen the schedules. I'm sorry. This is like really my first time taking a look. We're doing this together. So, you're going to figure that out. So, Titans at home, Carolina, Panthers. You're going there. You're going to Green Bay. You lucky. You're going in September. On my birthday as well. My birthday is on the 24th on a Sunday. So, wherever the hell we play, we better get a win. Home for Tampa. At New England, at Houston, Jags, home, Colts, at the Colts, Chicago Bears, home, at Minnesota. Then you got your bye week, 11. It's not bad. I like that. At Atlanta, home for Detroit, home for Carolina, home for the Giants. Nice little three-game run right there at home. Then you got to go to the other side of the world of the United States, play the Rams. Then you got to come back, play us in Tampa, and then finish off at home with Atlanta. TJ, your first look at this. What sticks out, or what do you like? I know you kind of said you feel good about it. What's your thoughts, man? Like, give us what you're thinking here.
I'm looking at this schedule, and it lines up really, really good for the New Orleans Saints. The teams that they're playing, I mean, they're playing the AFC South, which is a division that struggled last season, just like the NFC South did. And also, most importantly, they got a lot of controlled condition games here. I mean, you look at the Houston Texans, dome team, Falcons, dome team, Rams, dome team. Even though it's retractable, but they playing inside. And then not to mention you got 8 home games. So the Saints got like double-digit control condition games right here. And, a lot of the games, like towards the end of the season, you ain't really got to worry about weather. Like, where's the adversity game here? Last year was like the Cleveland Browns playing in below zero, right? You mentioned with the Green Bay Packers, they're playing them early in the season, so it's going to be pretty relatively smooth weather there. So the way I look at it, once again, if the Saints don't make the playoffs with a schedule like this, Dennis Allen needs to go. Just that simple. I don't want to hear no more. I don't want no more excuses about what Dennis Allen need and all the type of things that should have came into place and it's not Dennis Allen's fault. Get that dude up out of here if they cannot make the playoffs. I'm not even going as far as the division, because I often say I can't see 17s better than the Saints. They shouldn't have 17s better than them, right? And if, you should be like number 7. So I like the Saints' chances. I'm not really big on like how many games they're gonna win. I'm not a Kool-Aid drinker like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? I used to like the red Kool-Aid back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Extra sugar. But right now, man, the Saints, they got a lot of unanswered questions for me, man. Like, they look good on paper, but they look good on paper last year, right? I'm not really big on paper. It's about executing. It's about going out there handling your business. And but if you're a Saints fan, you should be optimistic about the schedule.
Very much. Very much. I understand that. But we can't let you off the hook, man. You still like that Kool-Aid. I don't care what you say. If I put some red Kool-Aid in front of you and you thirsty, it's like 90 degrees outside. You ain't gonna let that thing. I got some ice cubes in there. Keep it nice and cool. You go and drink that Kool-Aid. I'm about to make you have to drink this Kool-Aid. Now I'm gonna ask for a record.
Well, on a personal note, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I stay away from the sugar. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna keep it now. So I'm just keeping it. But all jokes aside, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, before all this went down, I used to enjoy it. But man, y'all know, man, I try to be a realistic Saints fan. You know, I'm not one of those ones that just be waving a pom-pom just to wave them. Right. You know, if the team is worth celebrating, I'm gonna celebrate them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grandstand. Grandstand. I'm a front run. But right now, you know, I'm not that confident in Dennis Allen. I think, look, if this was a Sean Payton-led Saints team, you'll probably see a little bit more energy from me because I trust that. But Dennis Allen, like everything that I see from Dennis Allen is a coach that can't get out of his own way. And so I got to wait and see approach.
And that's kind of where I'm at with it too, man. But like you said, man, this schedule sets up perfectly condition-wise, man. You got Tennessee that's not in the north, so that's fine. At Carolina, that's nice weather anyway. Green Bay early. And then, like you said, towards the end, Atlanta's in the dome. You got 3 straight games in the dome. Minnesota's in the dome. The Colts are in the dome. You got the Bears at home. Like, shoot. Like you said, man, it's falling right into your lap to be able to make a run at this division, but definitely make a run in the playoffs or towards the playoffs. My number one question and the biggest concern is what you said, man, Dennis Allen. He's never had a winning record, man. And to say that he's going to go from not having a winning record at all to what I'm hearing, 13-4 and 12-5 and 14-3, like somebody just put it like that's hard. That's hard. But should you be able to be in a position for a playoff run? Absolutely. Absolutely. You got the talent and you definitely have the schedule.
Yep.
Yeah. Heads definitely got to roll if y'all don't make the playoffs, like you said. I just, and like we even forgot to mention, y'all even played New England early. You know, like I said, the schedule makers said it like, all right, y'all got Derek Carr. Derek Carr is not winning a lot of games over in Raiders land, so we're gonna set it up favorably for y'all. But you know, like you said, when you start talking about records like 14-3 and 13 and whatever 5, whatever the hell it is, you're talking making very good coaching decisions during games. So that's going to be very interesting. But what's the bottom of this schedule? Like I said, I don't want no records. What's the bottom of this schedule where you're like, this guy got to get fired? I know you said 7th place playoffs. So what's that? 9 wins at least? Like that's the least they have to get with this schedule.
Hey, you got to make the playoffs. You know, it's just that simple, man. Like
the
thing about these NFL schedule makers is when teams struggle the previous season, they try to make it easier for you to make the postseason. Like this, the Saints, I want to say, have like the second to last place when it comes to strength of schedule. I think the Falcons are last. So there's no excuses for this. Like it's just, man, I wish I can be like that optimistic Saints fan, you know, that some might find unbearable, but I can't, you know, I can't do it. It has nothing to do with my fandom or my love for the team. It's just hard for me to get excited about a team that has so much potential. But at the same time, when I look at their leader, it's almost like, you know, looking at a band, you know what I'm saying? They come out there with the fresh uniforms on, you know what I'm saying? Instrument all shined up and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, like somebody just hit that sour note. You know what I'm saying? Like they look good when they first come out there, but when they hit that sour note, it just completely throws everything off. That's what I look at when it comes to Dennis Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't trust this dude like that. Like seriously, he has a lot to prove to the New Orleans Saints masses, the fan base, and also me. You know what I'm saying? As an onlooker, as a podcast, as a person that covers the team, he has a lot to prove. And it has nothing to do with Derek Carr or anybody like that. You know, like you can have like one of the best teams assembled, but it's always going to come down to situational football. It's always going to come down to moments in which you got to make these decisions. And we seen it last year versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We seen it in a couple of games, like against the Cincinnati Bengals. He just got out coached, right? And then also, I just feel like when it comes to the locker room, he almost lost it. And the reason why he didn't lose it had a lot to do with the leadership inside of that locker room. If they didn't have a Demario Davis or a Cam Jordan or a Tyrann Mathieu inside of that locker room, then the season would have been a lot worse. It's hard for me to get behind a guy, to me, that can't motivate. Can't motivate anybody. You know, he doesn't move me, man. He's boring. He's bland. He's conservative. Like, how can you buy into something like that? I can't.
Yeah, so your best bet is, I know you want to make the playoffs, Saints fans. I know y'all want to be in the playoffs so bad. But your best bet might be for him not to. Because as it stands, man, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer. He's, quote unquote, the worst coach in this division. Like, we look at records. I know he was in a rough situation, but Arthur Smith, his situation has been rough. He's 7-10, 7-10. Todd Bowles had a winning record last year. Frank Wright has a career winning record, and he's so I don't know. Y'all put everything you could possibly put in front of him to be able to have success this year. The Saints, to me, got the Tom Brady treatment when Tom came to Tampa, and they made sure he got the good schedule where he wasn't in those cold, uncomfortable situations. They have the best quarterback in this division. Why not give him that opportunity, right? Yep. So that's kind of what I see with that, man. But the players are there. Like you mentioned, the coach, man. It's hard for me to trust him.
It has nothing to do with the players whatsoever. Like, has nothing to do with the players. They got the right players, in my opinion, to be a playoff team. It's all about Dennis Allen. And can he get it out of him? You know, like, can he get the best out of these players, you know? And the Saints understood what they needed to do. This wasn't the Sean Payton situation where you can take an undrafted, unproven guy and make him a credible asset to your offense or your defense. Sean Payton was able to do that. You can't do that with a guy like Dennis Allen. You know what I'm saying? Dennis Allen is like a mid coach. It's like one of those basketball coaches, right? And then you got this star athlete that can average about 30 a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the coaching, but it's just the fact of, get that boy the ball and he gonna handle his business. That's what it's like. You gotta put really talented guys on this team, and they gotta win in spite the coaching, in my opinion. Unless we talking about defense, then he a beast. He a beast at that defense. But
that's another. Oh, go ahead, DJ. My bad.
Oh, I ain't saying no. I'm listening.
Okay. That's another thing that's interesting to me, man, and that's why I like to pick. Can't think of him right now. His name, running back from TCU, they got hurt.
Kendrick Miller.
Yes, a bruiser, man. He runs hard. He runs physical, right. And people are saying, well, you just got Jamal Williams from the Lions. Well, why are you going to go get another running back? Well, he's a defensive-minded coach, and so he's going to run the football. Right. And he's going to use Alvin. If Alvin gets suspended, whatever may happen, don't know. I don't think so, but who knows? You got enough there. But I think this is going to be another running back by committee. Control the tempo, control the time clock, let your defense rest so they can fly around and use the strength of this football team, which is what he is, a defensive coach. So I don't see Derek Carr being the Drew Brees slinging it around. Opportunities are going to get there, but a lot of that's going to be predicated off the run game. So it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun because I see what's going on. I just, like you say, Dennis Allen, man, he got to show me. That's it. Everything else is set up. He's got to show. Right.
Definitely. But like you said, it's very interesting that you even said it, even with everything being set up for him. All right, let's just play, devil's advocate. I go 12 and I always forget what it was, 17 games, 12 and 6, right? Now 18 games.
Nah, it's 17.
It's 17 games. So 12 and 5. Okay. Yeah. Hey. Horns out, everything's good, Then you come back because you said it yourself. You said that basically you don't expect this guy to be really a good head coach, and then y'all turn around next year 7-10. You know what I'm saying? Like the flip flopping back and forth. Are you getting anywhere doing it? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going with this, but like, you basically saying that Dennis Allen ain't it. You basically like, you know, even though you're gonna give him a chance to show you more. So this is something that's gonna carry over past this year for the most part, from your mind.
Yeah, I mean, look, if they make the playoff, then you know it's gonna carry over. But I've been rolling with the Saints for a long time, and I know sometimes they can get a little arrogant, you know, and they double down on nonsensical decisions. Like, for example, like retaining Pete Carmichael. Like, I didn't think that was a really good decision. You know, like Pete Carmichael turned one of the most dynamic running backs in football in Alvin Kamara, turned him into, I don't know, Earl Campbell or something like that. Like, all the different things that made Alvin Kamara special wasn't utilized last season. Like utilizing the screen pass, putting them out there running angle routes, wheel routes, you know, stretch plays. You didn't really see too much of that, right? It was like 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Like we watching some old Syracuse football, Ernie Davis out there or some Jim Brown. Like no excitement, no rhyme, no reason, no nothing. Like look no further than the game versus Tampa Bay. I'm going back to again Monday Night Football, game on the line, playoff implications, and you have Kirk Merritt, a guy who you just activated off the practice squad, and Taysom Hill, who is a quarterback / everything else in a crucial situation, right? And those are the only two receivers you have on the field. No Chris Olave, no Juwan Johnson, none of that, right? That's who you have on the field. Just nonsensical situations like that. And not to mention not really taking risk, right? One of the worst teams in the league when it comes to aggressive play calling on fourth down. It can be 4th and 1, 4th and inches, they ready to punt. Like, it's like somebody just balling up in a corner in a fetal position because they're afraid about the punches and the blows that they're going to absorb. Like, stand up, get out the corner, and start throwing some punches. You might get knocked out, but at the same time, you went out like a warrior. They don't have that warrior spirit. They don't have that energy, that swag, no nothing. So it's a lot of unanswered questions for me. But can they turn it around? I believe that they can based on their schedule, and I'm willing to give them an opportunity. But as far as my optimism, like on a scale of 1 to 10, right now, man, it's like at a 4. Like 4.5, something like that. Like, I do not trust this coach there. I trust the players. I think the players can win in spite of them in a few games, but it's going to come down to situational football for a few. And hopefully those don't be the games that really cost you the playoffs if those guys can get those players in the right situation.
Right. Okay. Well, there's going to be some things we have to carry over for another time. I have to ask you. But we're going to do it way too early. Win, loss. I don't care what it is. You're going to keep trying to get around it, but it ain't going to be today. It ain't going to be today. But, you know, we're going to play around with that on the off season. Got plenty of time. But, okay, yeah, for the most part, it's a very favorable schedule for the success that Saints fans seem like they're expecting.
Yeah.
So, cool. So, we'll move on to the other team in the South. My boy over here, I'm going to give you your little blue Carolina Panthers. You know, I don't like it either.
No, Why you going to us next? We can go.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go here. All right. So, looking at y'all schedule, y'all start off away at Atlanta.
Yes.
You're home for the Saints. Then you're going across the country to play Seattle. And you're home against the Vikings. Then you go away 2 games back-to-back. One to Detroit, the other one to Miami. A little bit of travel, and you got a bye week. Week 7. Then you're home for 2 games. You got 2 rookie quarterbacks. Houston Texans and Indianapolis Colts. Week 10. Y'all going away to Chicago. Then you home for Dallas. I know you're excited for that one.
Man, forget them.
And then you got 3 games on the road. Tennessee, us, and the Saints. That was interesting. Yeah, Atlanta. I guess that's to be announced later.
That should be their home game.
Green Bay at home. Congratulations, another non-cold game.
Yeah.
And then you on the road to the Jags, and then to be announced again, you're coming. No, just home for the Bucs.
Should be a home game too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, when you looked at this, what's your first initial thoughts on your schedule? What's going on? How you feel?
Just like TJ said, they did us some favors. We ain't in no cold weather outside of Chicago, maybe November. We get a little wind chill and all that there. But other than that, shoot, we got Jacksonville away in December. We got the Saints, that's in the Dome. Tampa, that's Florida. Tennessee, you know, Tennessee's right pretty much our neighbor, our neighbor next door. So in Carolinas. So I'm good with it weather-wise. But looking at the game, the first two games, man, to start off in the division, you're giving a first-year head coach in this division 2 divisional games to start off. One on the road, then you're going to put his butt on Monday Night Football. Man, so, and then you got Seattle right after that. Look, you can't afford. I'm not breaking down all the games, man. I'm not about to do this because you're not about to trick me into picking the number, any of that either.
I mean, the expectation has been set, so I'm not going to do it.
So, but I like it, man. I like it. I mean, we were down there. We weren't the second or the first worst. I mean, easiest schedule in the NFL, but I think we were like the 4th or the 5th. So, shoot, I'd take that. We finished second last year in the division. I believe our team got better. I think our entire coaching staff as a whole got better. That's just on paper, so I got to see it in action. But there's a lot of veteran experience here, a lot of winning experience within this coaching staff that I like a lot. You got a few games, man. You got the Adam Thielen, revenge game at home type thing. That's going to be fun. They're going to make a big deal out of that. You got Justin Jefferson, J.C. Horn, so that's going to be a good matchup to take a look at too, outside of the division stuff. But like you mentioned, man, those two back-to-back, good thing is they're at home. They're at home. We got C.J. Stroud at home and Anthony Richardson potentially at home. So, hey, man, to me, I'm like TJ, man, we should be competing for a playoff spot. We finished second last year, and I believe we got better. We got a quarterback, man. We had 3 different quarterbacks start for us the entire season. I think 2 of them played 6 games, 1 of them played 5. You know what I'm saying? So it spread out the entire year. Now I think we're gonna have some stability. People know I'm a fan of Derek Carr. I'm a fan of Derek Carr. I'm not Derek Carr, Andy Dalton. I'm a fan of Andy Dalton. So
I'm a fan of Derek Carr too, man.
Yeah, I do like Derek Carr. But I'm a fan of Andy Dalton, man. But TJ, man, thank you for jumping in because I'm gonna get long-winded with this, brother, man. I know you got it on.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all for having me though, man. And man, it should be an interesting season. Definitely want to come back and chop it up with y'all a little bit longer, but we about to roll over to the State of the Saints podcast, talk a little bit about the Saints schedule. So thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. And shouts out to everybody in the chat. Much love to you, no matter what side of the fence you're on. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully your teams find success this season and, let the best team win in this division.
All right.
Definitely. Always appreciate you, TJ. Like I said, we're going to talk. So we'll figure out. It's a long off season. We're going to find some stuff. We're going to collab and get it in, man. Appreciate you coming through, man.
All right, no problem, man. Take it easy, yo.
You too, brother.
All right. It's TJ Jones, State of the Saints podcast. One of the originators of this YouTube page. I mean, he was one of he basically started everything for us. And here we are.
Yeah. We all gonna jump on this thing together with this, man. But yeah, I'm feeling good, DJ. I want to see though. I want to just see the players and see how this thing progresses, man. But I'm feeling good. I like having Atlanta early. I don't care if it's in Atlanta. Come here. I was watching the old games, man. I know it's gonna be a different football team, different coaching. Hey, this is the first time ever they're gonna have somebody call plays. First time ever. So let me get that. I like Frank Wright matchup in that situation, man. And so we get a Monday night game, man. Let the world see what we about to be. If we can start off 2-0 on Monday night and look very good, who knows? But I'm not gonna give you a number, DJ.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do the numbers. Like I said, we'll do it way too early, predictions, whatever. Like I said, with y'all schedule, just like TJ said, I mean, so far with these two schedules, these some favorable schedules. Like I'm looking at them like, see, it's a little different from you and TJ's team, right? TJ's team, established coaching staff, trying to, basically make their mark, especially Dennis Allen as a head coach. He has a lot to prove this year. Y'all the first time, coaching staff coming together with Frank Wright, Evero, Thomas Brown. That's a new combination right there on the top, right? But still, to still have this schedule is gonna be, in your favor. Like I said, I'm looking at this and the teams y'all gotta play, or your team gotta play. I mean, there's so much movement with a lot of these teams that y'all playing against, one in the division. And then even when you're talking about, Seattle's they're pretty established. They're coming back basically with a very, upgraded team off of what they already built off of last year. The Vikings, similar situation. Detroit, so that's your stretch right there is the one that's a little bit like, if you had to look at one during your schedule. But when you get past that, like you said, past your bye week, you're looking at, the rebuilt Texans, the rebuilt Indianapolis, Chicago still trying to find their way, one of the worst teams in the league last year. Dallas, who seems like they're losing a lot of pieces and things. They're gonna have a hard track just in a division just by itself. Tennessee gonna probably have a new quarterback by then. Will Levis probably gonna be playing. You got us, Bucks, still trying to figure things out. Green Bay, Jordan Love taking the helm over there, pretty still. Right. It's a veteran team, but new quarterback, right? Right. So I mean, overall, outside that early stretch, which again, you guys are a new team, you're gonna run into teams that's kind of pretty much established and making ascending up. It's still overall, I think, a good schedule. I think it's a real good schedule for y'all that y'all should be successful with.
Yeah, I think so too, man. We gotta. You're right. That stretch, Seattle, Minnesota, Lions, Dolphins,
Miami. Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't think the Lions are gonna be as good. I know a lot of people like, what? They're gonna be even better. I'm interested. I'm just interested to see. I need to see that offense. I need to see if that offense can be better than what it was last year.
Interesting. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna do a little way too early. We're gonna break down, look more into these teams now that we got the schedule. So,
yeah,
But yeah, any other thoughts when you're looking at this schedule?
Yeah, let me give my high and let me give my low.
You're gonna give it to me? All right,
I'll do that. I think the low. Initially, I was like 5-6, right? It just goes all completely bad. I'm saying 5 or 6 wins. But it's hard looking at this schedule saying only 5 or 6 wins. But it's early, so I don't want it. That's my low. My high, I say 12 to 13.
Fair. I'll give you fair on that one. I really would. I'm not gonna. Like I said, I'm gonna wait till we have to do our records for everybody and give mine for you. And look at this.
You know we can't move on.
Bird looking. Just
without my guy.
Yeah, man.
Without my guy.
What's good, fellas? Yo, man. Pardon my lateness. What's good?
You beyond late.
I had to come in, bro.
Late 15 minutes.
Bro, I've been waiting since 9. Come on. I blame the organizer, man. I'm not even gonna call the organizer out. They sent out the link 2 days earlier. I didn't have. We got no ready. Are you ready? We in here. None of that.
Right.
None of that. But We here, man. What did you guys leave off at? I saw TJ was in here earlier, so I know y'all probably knocked the Saints out already.
Yeah. We'll come back in it because I don't know if CB will be able to jump on too, so I doubt it. But if he does and if he can, checking us out. What up, man? Yeah, he might jump in and we might bring it back in depending on the time. But yeah, we doing the Panthers right now, man. So you came in perfect timing because we haven't done anything else outside the Saints. So what's your thoughts, fam?
Regarding the Saints?
Nah, the Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers?
Yeah, that's what we got. Yeah, we got that up right now.
Anything you noticed from this schedule and what you think it's looking like?
I noticed an early bye. I'm surprised about the primetime games. They got 2 primetime games. I guess it's due to Bryce Young, so that lets me know Bryce Young automatically has that pull, right? So, people want to see him in prime time because no disrespect to the Panthers, I don't really think they have any other prime time notable players. So this is an automatic draw to Bryce Young. But looking at just looking at the schedule, it's really a light schedule. I think overall for the NFC, I think we all caught a lot of breaks, right, when we're looking at the quarterbacks that we're going to face this year. So, but though I do feel that the Carolina Panthers got a couple of opponents on here that are different from the Falcons that I feel like are going to be some tough outs, like the Minnesota Vikings. Well, no, the Dolphins, the Vikings, we have those, but I don't think that the Panthers are really on that level. But just looking at the schedule overall, I think you guys can win 4 or 5 games with this schedule. I can see 4 to 5 wins from the Panthers with this schedule. I just think there's a tough start to the season. No, I think before you buy, I think those are 6 legitimately tough games, right? I don't think there's a gimme or there's a team that the Panthers, maybe the Falcons, first 6 weeks, but I think everybody else will be favored over the Panthers, right? So, if you look at that first before the bye, that's a tough road to say, hey, Bryce Young, we're going to start you out. Yeah, we'll send you to Atlanta, to try them out. But then to go Saints, Seahawks, because you're going out to Seattle, Vikings, Lions, Miami Dolphins. Like that's a tough schedule, man. I think that's a tough schedule. I just think it's an overall tough schedule. Getting the Dolphins, I think that's a tough draw, right? Because I don't think we have the AFC East as a total division, do we?
No,
I got the AFC South and
because our AFC East opponent, we have the Jets, right? So we have old Aaron Rodgers, but you guys pull the young, energetic Miami Dolphins card. So I think that was a tough card to pull out of that group. Jets are good now. Jets are good, but I think Dolphins are. You got to put on a different pair of shoes, right? You got to put on track meet shoes. So I think that was a tough draw there, but I think it's an overall. It's kind of it's a solid schedule, but it softens up during the middle when you got the Texans, the Colts, the Bears, Cowboys, and Titans, and I'll throw the Bucs in there. I think you can make some hay after the bye, right? Taking maybe 3 or 4 of that 6 game stretch. I think you can do that, right? So I think it may start off rough. You may need, for me, Andy Dalton to come out and start the season out. Maybe the first 2 or 3 games, at least get you through that Seattle? Because it's going to be loud there. Do you think that Bryce Young gets rattled there? How do you guys feel about that? Or do you think he just takes it from week 1 and just starts, doing his thing Monday Night Football week 2? That's in Carolina. Where's that? Carolina. That's in Carolina. Okay, that's in Carolina. It's usually dead in that stadium at night. So it.
Nah, B of A be lit, man. We might have a lot of.
I'm messing with you, bro. I'm messing.
We might have a lot of other opponent teams in there, but
yeah,
it be lit.
Well, no, man. Overall, I think it starts off rough. It lightens up after the bye, and then at the end of the year, it just depends on how those teams are going to shape out, right? It depends on how the Falcons, the Bucks, Jags, and the Packers look by that time of year to see if you can probably pull a couple of wins out of there. So that's why I say maybe like somewhere between some 5 to 6 wins to me. I'm not sure if we're getting win totals, but
I mean, if you're bold enough, we're gonna wait. But go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna do a win-loss, record, way too early record. But yeah, I mean, just like you said, man, that was something before I identified before you got in, was that early stretch is very important to Carolina. When it comes to like strength, part of the schedule. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, no, I'm saying if we even come out 2-4, I don't think all is lost coming out 2-4 in this stretch, because the back end of it is a little softer. So you can maybe build. Yeah, exactly. So you build, your identity, gets your, system down better, all that type of stuff. You come into after the bye, like, okay, let's wake up. We got it going. Now let's hit the ground running and kind of go on a little stretch where you can maybe, that back end and lose 3 more games out of that stretch. And what's that, 10-7 type ordeal? I mean, it's possible. So, but yeah, your goal would definitely want to come, I would say, no less than 2-4 in that first 6. So
2-4.
But
no less. That's along the lines of what I was saying with only being favored really over the Falcons. So you probably say you can get the Falcons. From your perspective, not mine.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
probably
she's trying to pull it out of me, DJ. Let's go.
Because I'm telling you, Falcons, but anybody else, it's definitely tough, baby.
I'm feeling 2-2. 2-0.
You're looking at 2-0 and then dropping the next 4. That'd be tough.
Yeah,
I didn't say, Mike, just do it.
I didn't say we were going to go 2-4. I said the minimum we got to go is 2-4. Now I'm seeing 2-0 looking at this to start the season off. We play the Saints very good early. We won 3 out of the last 4 games against the Saints, and then we had this with Matt Rule. So I look, Dennis Allen is Dennis. I ain't breaking down all this, but Monday night game, give it to me. We gonna get that. Start the season off 2-0. Then who knows? Who knows? Because, Atlanta's going, John, I ain't going there.
I'm not trying to start with you tonight, Mike. That's why.
Nope. Let's go on, man. That's why. Let's go on to the next one.
On paper, I will let you claim this victory. If you want to claim it, claim it. I'm not here to beef with y'all. Who is T. Thompson, brother? That dude just clowning. Why they clowning me
Oh, you see how he want to put the name out there?
I'm doing it now. That's what I do.
He did that.
He
got on me with no boys.
Yeah. Well, I do it with everybody here. I don't want everybody here.
That's all good, bro. Hey, man.
Let's go. Let's go.
Man. That's late. You're going to be last, man. We're going to go over to the Bucks.
Man, I thought you guys were like 3-4 teams deep by now.
All right. So the Bucks schedule. Looking at going to Minnesota, see the Vikings first. Home for Chicago, home for Philly. Monday night game. Then we go to New Orleans. and then we home for Detroit. Oh, a bye week. Week 5 bye week. I almost missed that thing. We got week 5 bye week. Then we got Detroit at home. Then we got Atlanta at home. Then we got Buffalo on the road.
Why do you laugh?
Then we got Houston on the road. Tennessee at home. San Fran on the road. Colts on the road. I don't know what I'm even doing right. Carolina at home. Atlanta. Got to go to Atlanta. Then we got to go to Green Bay. Freeze our ass off. Then we got Jags at home. Then we got New Orleans at home. And then we go to Carolina to finish the season. God damn, man. Can you tell that Tom Brady is no longer with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I know some of these, I know the opponents were predetermined, right? I mean, but damn, this is a shitty ass schedule for the Bucs, right? I mean, we already pulled the 3 hardest teams probably in the league to start off with, right? With the Bills, 49ers, and Philly. But damn, they put first of all, they put us Monday night, week 3 against Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, why not, right? That's okay. That is wrong, right?
Man.
And then the Thursday night primetime game, they got the Bills. Like, how much do you hate the Bucs? Like, I mean, like, what would we do to y'all? Like, for real. Like, that's just 2 primetime games against 2 of the best teams in the league. Jacked up. Way jacked up with that. And there was another game that really stuck out to me. No, I think that's really the 2 that really, and then the Green Bay. Week 15, we went 3 years. 3 years without seeing any climate. Really, the teams we were playing. Now that time is gone. Oh, well, let's see what games, Green Bay is going to play in the middle of December. Oh, yeah, let's throw Tampa Bay out there, week 15. Fuck it, I mean? December 17th. Freak it. I don't know who we pissed off, man. This is not a favorable schedule with a team that's already in transition trying to figure things out, man. I'm not feeling good about this. I do not like this schedule. Yeah, man. This is going to be this. I think I posted on Twitter before. We going to war. We definitely going to war this year. Like there's no favors being done like we got over the last 3 years. There's no favors. They're gonna have to earn everything that they win. I don't care they win 2 games next. They are earning they better not win no damn 2 games. But they're earning everything with this schedule the way it's mapped out. I don't like it, man. That's my initial thoughts with that, man. Go ahead. I already know what y'all gonna do. I don't even see y'all in the picture. I know Sean probably laughing. Mike probably on Mike. Oh, Mike just chilling, but Sean just smiling. I know he's feeling good. Go ahead.
If I can hop in there, man, that first place schedule, like Tom Brady left you guys with a parting gift, and he was like,
"Ain't got Dungy." Sorry.
You know that Magic Johnson meme that they got out there, where Magic be like, "I'm not gonna be here." That's what Tom Brady said when he saw that schedule. He was like, I'm not gonna be here. It's no way, that you guys, Minnesota. Do not sleep on Minnesota. Minnesota, the Bears. These are 2, even if they're not, the most talented teams, they are still tough teams to play. And I think they do have talent on those squads, right? You got Justin Jefferson out the box. So you're going up top, and you're facing wide receiver 1 out the gate. So you got wide receiver 1 out the gate. You got Justin Fields and the guys at home.
DJ.
But, Justin Fields, I'm interested to see what the Bears are like. But Philly, and then you didn't mention it, but you got Philly, and then they're sending you to New Orleans the next week. So that's a tough bounce back, right? If you're going to have a bounce back game after Philly, you want the Tennessee Titans there or somebody like that. but they send you to your divisional rival to New Orleans, which is, I probably would say, it's the toughest place to play in the NFC South. It's a Superdome. So that's a tough back-to-back. But then you get a break. You get an early break. Then you come out the gates at home with the Lions, Falcons, Bills, Texans. So you kind of get a little small break there. But what I did notice is after you play the Falcons, you're on the road a lot. Right, so there's a lot of road games right there. So there you got 2 road games, home game, 2 road games, home game, 2 road games again. So they really, you guys are gonna have to dig deep, right? Because you're gonna have an early bye, and then they're gonna send you guys basically road tripping for the most of the second half of the season. So and you gotta say, hey, is Kyle Trask gonna be able to manage and navigate through the Eagles, the Bills, the 49ers, and everybody else, as well as go through the division twice? Man, either Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield, this is, if either one of them do it, it'll be a miracle to me. No disrespect. I do not see either one of them doing, but either one of them do go through all 17 games as a starter and contend and possibly win the division. Man, that I don't even think anybody, in the front office is expecting that. But just off of how tough the schedule is and how it lays out, I don't think you guys caught any breaks, but that's just how I feel about it. He said Bills on a short week. Salute to my guy, Big Bucks, man. Salute to my guy. He said he got you guys at 9-8 is the ceiling, 5-12 is the floor. I know we're not talking record, but that kind of lets me know you probably topping out at 500. So tough schedule, and I think 9-8 off of this schedule here, a damn good season, because we saw 9-8 last year. Am I correct? Was it 9-8?
It would have been if we didn't sit everybody against y'all.
No, it's 89. My bad. 89. My bad. 8-9. So
it would definitely been
9-8. So 8 and 9, 9-8.
Yeah, I'm mad about that because they didn't pay off the next week. Shit.
Yeah, we'd have beat you anyway. But
8
and 9-8. So you got to say 9-8 is an improvement from last year with this schedule, man.
Look,
hey, they got some heavy lifting going on, man. So,
yeah, it's kind of the reason why, just looking at it, man, playing that first place schedule, like you said, Tom Brady left them in a position where it's going to be tough, man. And they have an early bye. And if you look at this schedule, man, you got 4 home games in your first 6 games. That's why you're on the road so much later on, because you're playing early. So maybe you can protect your dirt and start off hot. I don't know. But it's tough. Those aren't no sure wins, definitely. It's a tough schedule. It's going to have to be led by your defense. It has to be led by your defense, man. Kirk Cousins, a solid quarterback. I mean, he's, average, mid, maybe top 10. I don't know. I don't think so. But, he's an average quarterback. Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts. Derek Carr is who you think Derek Carr is, but you got Josh Allen. You got the 49ers. Man, it's tough. At 49ers, like, you got all them tough. Ooh. But, yeah, man, it's just
no favors done.
None. And it's kind of the reason why I feel the way I felt about your football team, man. It's just going to be one of those years where you're going to be in position to get a quarterback. And you did what you needed to do this year, and let's see if it pays off in the future where you got a lot of young talent around this quarterback, but they got there a year earlier or a couple years earlier. So now you can just kind of plug and play. So I think that has to be the focus. But Bucks might get 3 wins. Hey, they had the Bucks predicted at 3-14. I wish I had that
schedule there's a chance. The chance.
3-14 is tough, man, because that's like long stretches of losing. Like,
yeah, it is. I'm not saying.
I don't know about that.
not my expectation, but the way the schedule is set up is it's rough, man. And I just don't like the way they set it up. And like I said, without doing win-loss right now, like Big Buck been saying in there, if they win 7 to 9 games this season, we earned them. We earned them wins. Like there's no question we earned them damn wins.
Damn good wins in that 7 to 9. If you get to 7 to 9, you're gonna have a couple.
We head in the right direction. I'll tell you that much. Right. We definitely head in the right direction.
Yeah, 49ers or Eagles or Bills. One of them have to be in that 7, unless you lose to all of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless you lose all of them and just sweep the division, and
And I think personally, Jacksonville is gonna be a better team, man.
They're gonna be playing for the playoffs by the time we play them.
Yeah, that last stretch with Carolina, Atlanta, Green Bay, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Carolina again. That's
tough.
You're not able to catch your breath. Yeah,
it's just no favors done.
And then y'all bye was so early, so you can't.
That's why they were so young. They got these young bodies with the young knees. We can't have that broken up team we had last year to get injured again. We got a bunch of young folk. We gonna be, like I said, we're gonna need that hard hat for these damn games.
Right. Normally at the bye, you want to see them make adjustments, right? You want to see them make adjustments. If you want to do a quarterback change, you will prefer to be over the bye week to give them that extra week of preparation. Early. Now it's so early. What type of evaluation you're gonna be able to get in, right? Or what type of adjustments you're gonna make for the rest of the 13 games. That's crazy.
I'll say this.
Right, that's crazy.
Jason Light said it, and I've said it to Michael, off camera. He's made it very clear that this plan has been put in place for this team to be winning long term, right? We're not trying to, if we wanted to just try to win that one more season, hold on type stuff, New Orleans Saints stuff. Yeah. But if we wanted to do that, we would have made a bunch of bad decisions and just continue to cap out and, carry money into next year and just continue re-signing people longer and dead money. They knew what this year, like I said, you knew what your points were. And then we went in first place schedules. You're going to end up with the teams you're going to end up with. So again, that might have been part of the plan. Look, we're not going to have the best year this year, but we can get better talent. And we're going to, might have a rough season. Like you said, get our quarterback, which neither one of these feel like neither one are going to be a quarterback next year in 2024. Like I'm going to continue to claim that every single time we get on here and talk about the Buccaneers. Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield will not be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback in 2024. It'll be a rookie. But yeah.
And it's been set up like that all off season, man. I'm glad you saw the schedule and you're like, okay. Yeah, but now you've been kind of like this, but I think this really, really did it for you.
Yeah, this did it for me. This schedule was that.
They got some juggernauts on there. At Buffalo, at San Francisco. Somebody got a bone to pick with you guys.
They do for real.
They yeah.
All right. Now, you have any final thoughts on the schedule? Like I said, I had this shit. I'm throwing this away.
Nah, so you said your ceiling was okay. Now, yeah, I got
okay. Ceiling.
You didn't give us your low.
Okay, my low is 4 games. I anything lower than 4, I would be a little upset, with this. But that's my floor. My ceiling is, I think if we hit 8 and we get anything over that, they need to re-sign and give Todd Bowles more money. Keep it buck, yo. I don't like this. I don't like it. I think we ain't got it's very narrow. Unless it's injuries, obviously, and you end up, 1 in 17 or 16. But yeah, that's my.
Hey man, if y'all get to 10, I think 10 is the magical number for Baker to get an extension. So if a quarterback can get to 10, I think they get extended. I think you found your guy. If you can get to double digits, I think
he's doing some damn good coaching. If we get to 8, 10, anything above that, that Todd Bowles is solidifying himself as one of the best coaches in the league doing something like that. I'm sorry, call it like it is, man.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. 8. don't have anything else, man. We can move
right.
on.
Toughest schedule in the division. I think we all agree on that.
Well, I haven't seen Atlanta's fully yet, so I gotta look. But
we got the easiest, big dog.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, y'all got the easiest. That's right. I knew those.
That boy, he got the easy.
My ceiling was 12 and 13, and floor was 5 and 6. I bet.
4 year easiest.
What you mean? You mean 2012, 2013? What happened those years?
Oh, for my team?
Yeah, what are you talking? You talking about your 2012, 2013 team?
No, we talking about now, Sean. My looked at the schedule. That's my ceiling and my
floor.
floor.
You mean 12 to 13 wins? I thought you were talking about
trash big buck.
Yeah. No. That's way too high. I thought you were talking about the 2012, 2013.
That's the ceiling.
You gotta come on, man. Like that stuff with the whole taking records thing. You gotta look at what the team's been doing, man. You can't only go off of that. You know what I'm saying? And where they're at. You know, I understand where they have us because but we're still the toughest. But it still makes sense, right? We're the toughest team in the division, like schedule wise.
Yeah, everybody else is 22nd and below.
Like
everybody's under. Yeah, so we're 32.
Yeah,
but,
I had to put that out there. But yeah, y'all had the worst visuals when it came to like
shake and bake
to y'all schedule. So I had to come here to ESPN and do it this way because y'all are just weird. And I know you.
Yeah, we had like the TikTok reveal. I'm not a big. I don't use TikTok, so I'm not. You're familiar with a lot of those influencers, but I knew a couple of them, so I figured it was a hit in TikTok Nation.
Yeah, I think it was from. I don't know a lot of them either. I just think it was the best because it was a script. And so that was the theme. And I don't know. I got a kick out of it a little bit on how things were done. Carolina's was definitely second, but y'all had the best.
Yeah, I gotta check you guys out. I just only follow the Falcons Twitter page. I don't give a damn about damn Carolina Panthers or fuck. I want to see y'all tweeting shit because I'm just gonna hate. I don't want nan highlight on my damn timeline.
Boy, he don't like us, man. Why you don't like us, man? What we do to you, Sean? Sean be coming for our neck.
You trying to beat me? What do you mean? Why would I like you, nigga? You want to beat me? Fuck that. He can't just smoke any day of the week. What the fuck?
All right.
Who got the most primetime games? I think it's the New Orleans Saints. It's New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr they want to see Derek Carr in primetime, Big Buck.
I think it's tied. Like we got two. Carolina got two.
I think the Panthers are 2-2 with the Bucks. I think the New Orleans has the most for the division.
They got 3.
Oh.
But they might have 2.
No, they got more than 2.
All right. So run down your schedule. You got Carolina at home, Green Bay at home. Then you go to Detroit. Then you come back home for Jacksonville at home, Houston at home, Washington at home. Then you go into Tampa. Then you go into Tennessee. You got Minnesota at home. If I say home one more time, I'll kill my. Then you go to Arizona in week 11. I was way off with that when I said that. Actually, you're not home for Jacksonville. You're going overseas.
Y'all that was supposed to be a road game for us. So I was planning on going to Jacksonville this year. Right.
Yeah. I had to, my bad. I just realized, no, I had to.
Yeah, that's why I went to school. And I was planning on going back to Jacks, but they shipped that over to London. So we're trying to
so correction with that, my bad.
London, man.
So there's a little what's that? You kind of got like 2 away games in a row with the Detroit and the Jacksonville, then you come home. So that's what it is. Yeah. See, I lost a home game. And y'all,
we lost a road game. We should have 8 home games on there.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let me finish it off. But yeah, so you got New Orleans at home. Then you got the Jets in New York in December. You know, who knows with that one? Could be a little frigid out there. And then you're home for us, Bucks. Then you go to Carolina in December, which can be a little cool. Indianapolis at home. Then you got Chicago. In Chicago. Oh, I didn't know that. You do got a cold game. And then you finish the season with New Orleans. Sean, give us a temperature of this schedule. What's going on? It's a little tougher than I thought.
Hey, man. I think that we caught a lot of breaks with this schedule, man. I think that especially with that London game, I was nervous. Right, we talk about the group chat. I was nervous that we were going to have that week 5 bye, but the Buccaneers ended up having that week 5 bye. But I like how we opened the season up against Bryce Young or Andy Dalton and Jordan Love, right? So we got Carolina Panthers, the Green Bay Packers opening up the season in the Mercedes-Benz Dome, right? So what I noticed about our schedule is we're going to play a lot of dome games, right? So we're going to play a lot of dome games. We're going to run the ball. So for those late in the season, the Jets, the Bears, those games for running football team is going to fit right up into what we want to do. I think we're going to be able to keep the ball on the ground and out of the air. So that part of the season is going to be where we are really going to bring it home, right? So especially with our run game and trying to close out the season, I think we can do a really good job there. But I like the way it opens up. No disrespect to the Buccaneers. I mean, not the Buccaneers, but the Jaguars. I think Jaguars are going to be a better team, but I like that we do get them in London. I like that early game in London. It says it's a 1:00 game in London, so it may be a later game. Normally those are 9:30 in the morning, but I like the Jags, the Texans back to back. Texans, which is, I think we should do good there. Commanders, Buccaneers, Titans, Vikings, Cardinals, right? When we go over these teams, right, the elite quarterbacks that we are facing is very, very low. So we're talking about we're facing 38-year-old Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Kyler Murray coming off of the injury, Kirk Cousins, and maybe Ryan Tannehill, right? So there's really maybe Aaron Rodgers that we're talking about elite wise, but then he's kind of on the back end of his talent abilities. So elite quarterback wise, we're really not facing anybody of that stature. So I think that, with our last place schedule, because we did get last place. So, thank you guys for that. With our last place schedule, we really are skating around the top quarterbacks in the league, right? So we're not facing, not to say Tua, but we're not facing that Miami offense. We're not facing the Buffalo Bills. We're not facing, 49ers and the Eagles. Our toughest game really on paper, outside of the division normally being tough, is the Jets, maybe late. The Lions, we would have to be reaching for the Lions, the Jags, and the Vikings. Really, outside of that, it's really not a team. There's not a team that jumps off at me off our schedule. It's like, I'm going to mark that as an automatic L. I feel like we can battle and we can fight with most of everybody on our team. And I don't think we were set in a tough spot with like, man, this is a murderer's row of a stretch. I don't see that on our schedule. I see a lot of no disrespect, I do see a lot of lightweights sprinkled in there, right? So you do see Houston, you see Tennessee, who I expect not to have a good year, Arizona, those types of teams, right? So, yeah, I like the way our schedule lays out. I think we can do some damage if we can get on a roll and that run game turns out to be what we are projecting it to be. So I like the way the schedule lays out, and I feel like we caught a good break here, especially with that week 11 bye, right? Gives us a good half and half, close to like 55-45 type split to the season for us to be able to, make our final playoff run. So salute to the schedule makers, baby. I think they setting it up for you, boy, man. They know I need to talk that shit this year. So I love it.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts, man?
Yeah, man. I'll go DJ, man. Look, if Arthur Smith can't get over 7 wins with this schedule, he has to be fired. Not on the hot seat, has to be fired. Like, this is, I know it's based off last year and teams have done better, but this is the easiest schedule in football. You got the worst division in football in the AFC South. You're playing already just like everybody else. We're the worst division in the NFC, quote unquote. So you got that to play. And then you got the 4th place of everybody else in those other divisions. So it worked out, man. You should be able to if this is gonna be the year, if it's gonna be any year, it's got to be this year. But just looking at it, man, I think they did a nice job to give you another game after you lose your home opener to try to get one before you go on the road next. So that was good to have back-to-back. So you'll be 1-1 there. And then, you got Detroit. And I think Jacksonville is going to be a very good team. I think Washington, pay attention to them. I actually like Sam Howell better than I like Desmond Ridder. They're both defensive-minded, you got some defensive-minded guys over there that can, stop the run. So that's going to be a very interesting game there. And Tampa's very similar. Defensively, you got to have a high-powered offense to really beat some of these teams, and we got to see what that's going to be. Tennessee, another defensive team. So what I'm seeing in the trend is some defensive teams. You got the Jets, you got New Orleans, you got Carolina, you got Houston, who's going to be a defensive-minded team because you got that head coach. With your offense, can y'all put up enough points against some of these teams? So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be very interesting to see. It is set up nicely when you have the quarterback play that you're talking about, but that's only good when your offense is prolific. And so that's not there yet. But we got to see what it's going to be like when the games come in. But yeah,
just for defensively, for our defensive, we're trying to get better on defense, right? So we want to be able to, especially secondary, rushing the passer, just going against those mid-tier quarterbacks, I think will make our defense look better than maybe what it is compared to, the QBs that some of you guys are going to face on your schedule. But I think it helps us from a defensive perspective, right? So I don't expect for, face 3 or 4 quarterbacks that's going to throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns.
No.
A game. So I think, with us being able to face these mid-tier quarterbacks, it really, benefits our style of play, our run the ball, control the clock, right? So we don't have to worry about scoring 30 points a game because I don't really see a quarterback that's really lighting up the scoreboard like that. But it's still the year still to be played. There's going to be some quarterbacks that emerge from this schedule, I know, but just looking at it right now, yeah, man, I'm ready to face all of those guys.
Right. Yeah. All right. DJ, go ahead and do yours. We can move.
Mike, we find ways to always steal each other's thunder. That was the first thing that I noticed with this schedule. Is similar to what Mike said. Though it's not a hard, like I said, prolific offense, type of a schedule when you're talking about some of the teams that y'all pulled outside of, the AFC South and the NFC North, via Arizona, Washington, the Jets, which should be a little better with A-Rod there from a throwing standpoint or, just a prolific offense standpoint. That stretch of Jacksonville, hard nose, Houston, you expect them to be better. They got a defensive-minded head coach. you would think, at least at this point, it might not shake out that way. Then you got Washington, who is a very tough defense, and Tampa, which I'm expecting to be a very tough defense, and Tennessee has been a very tough defense. That's the only like one caveat with this. But when you're talking about like overall teams and just prolific teams and things like that, yes, this is definitely the schedule that many people will want to play. You know, like you said, you can pull in Carolina with maybe a rookie quarterback first week of the season. You're getting Jordan Love in the second game of his career, or of his season that he's starting. You're catching them
starting for a season, yeah.
And like I said, and then you got your toughest games, which you can look at. Detroit overall is a pretty well. If you're looking at your schedule, the Detroit-Jacksonville games are like daunting with what you have on this schedule. So take that for whatever you want to take it. With 2 games,
daunting back to back.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's your daunting game. 2 games of the schedule.
Outside of the division is going to be tough. I don't ever dismiss a division, no matter what.
There's a division game attached to that. I would say that.
Yeah.
I mean, even with Green Bay being there, like I said that before. Green Bay has a good team. The question is, what's Jordan Love going to be
at that point?
Those 3 games right there, you can look at and really be like, okay.
And we got to say that about a lot because we can say that about Ritter.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yes, early season game as well. All right.
Yeah, we can definitely say that about Ritter, but I feel like the Falcons has intentionally put a plan to minimize Ritter's exposure. I'm not sure about Jordan Love. I don't think that they've done the things that Jordan Love needs to be successful, right? I feel like, they still, even back to the Aaron Rodgers days, they didn't go out and get the weapons on the offensive side. They just refused to. So I'm not sure, they do have Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, Dylan. I was almost said Corey Dillon, but I forgot Dylan's first name. But they have a running back, but the wide receiving core there is Pooh, right? So Jordan Love. I'm not sure if
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm not gonna let you just go by with this. You right now stretching the hell out of this. Like you might need to go look at Green Bay's roster a little bit. Because because when you were talking, I had to question what I knew about their roster. Their offense, they gave this guy more weapons from like a youth standpoint than they ever gave Aaron Rodgers, right? I mean, they got Luke Musgrave, who was arguably one of the best tight ends in this game. They got
who didn't play last year.
Who 6'7", big boy at Old Dominion. They got Christian Watson, who this guy.
Jordan played one or 2 games last year.
Better than your receiver.
Who?
Who better than your receiver?
Who?
Christian Watson.
Okay.
The boys, he showed a little bit. Whatever he showed, he's all right. They got wide receivers. Like I said, they got a lot of pieces that they're trying to put together. I've never seen them do this with Aaron Rodgers. They have never went after weapons.
I don't know what pieces that you're talking about, bro. You're kind of missing me with it. Like I know you named some rookie, some incoming tight ends, but they have like Dobbs. They have Christian Watson. Those are their 1 and 2 wide receivers. They brought in rookie tight end Musgrave. I think he played 1 or 2 games all of last year. Correct or right or wrong? What, he played 2 games last year? Musgrave?
Let's take a look.
But no, they had an opportunity to go skill position first round with those wide receivers on the board. They didn't go there. That's what I'm speaking to. Yeah, they may go somebody second or third. We're talking about elite level skill position players where they traditionally don't draft first round draft picks with those guys. That's what I'm speaking to.
Hey, oh my bad, I had to use the restroom. Sorry. The wide receiver room.
I like that. That's cool.
Sean, that wide receiver room, man, it just baffles me the way that you keep coming in everybody else wide receiver room. That's all. I'm not saying one word about yours,
man, for real.
It's just baffling.
No. If you're gonna talk about something, let's talk about it in context. I said the wide receiving room was poo in context to that is the source of their team. They're gonna throw the ball. They have Aaron Jones and Dylan, but they throw the ball.
Why do you think their identity won't shift some with Jordan Love being their quarterback? Just because that's all you saw with Aaron Rodgers, that they can't make a adjustment?
Okay, I know. We're talking about offensive coaches. We're talking about NFL coaches here, guys. We're talking about NFL coaches. Their style is their style. They fit players to their system.
Matt LaFleur is one of the people that wanted Aaron Rodgers going like 2 years ago. He wanted Jordan Love for a while now. You know what I'm saying? They've been trying to get a plan for Jordan Love for a while and get Aaron Rodgers out of there. Aaron Rodgers apparently, or what it sounds like, is kind of still does Aaron Rodgers things. And they want somebody that Jordan Love, a young player, that will run with Matt.
Let me say something. Like it's become apparent that I can't talk about anybody's wide receivers because people feel like my wide receivers are trash. I shouldn't talk about fucking football at all. Then, if that's the case, if that's the criteria, if you don't
just said they had no weapons.
For what? No. Let me say, because I can't even comment on Green Bay wide receivers, not even Falcons related. They got to bring it back. Oh, you're talking like, come on, like if we're gonna start that tit for tat every time I mention something. So if you guys say anything negative about another team and your team is not better, let's go ahead and pivot the conversation and start there, because we basically pivoted a whole fucking conversation because I said that Green Bay wide receiver was poo, and you guys somehow diverted that to start to talk about the Falcons wide receivers. We're not even here for that. We're talking about Jordan Love. We're talking about Jordan Love. We're talking about Jordan Love and how the offense is supposed to formulate by week 2. That's what we were talking about. But somehow we're talking about Falcons wide receivers. I see how we get to 3 hours, that. But I think that's bullshit. But hey, let's move on. You guys like Dobbs and Watson? Cool. You like Dobbs and Watson wide receiver core? If that's what if you want to stand on that hill and start fighting people off on the Green Bay Packers wide receiver room, you do that, T Money. You do that, Mike. You do that, DJ. I don't give a damn about what you guys feel about the Falcons wide receiving core. I don't give a damn. But I'm gonna have my opinions on anybody else's wide receiver room. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna hold my tongue because you feel a way about my wide receiver core. Kiss my ass.
Well, since we can segue out of here, we got a guest that we've been waiting on. Our brother, CB with the WDN chat line, has tuned in. And I want to add him in. Let's get out of that other stuff that you were talking. But man, I'm gonna go ahead and add him in. CB, we don't see you. I don't know what happened to your picture. You just had a picture up there. I don't know what the hell just happened to it. But what's going on, my man? Do you hear me?
He probably can't hear us. He may not be in, man. But yo, that was hilarious, Sean. Kudos to you. I gotta snap my fingers for that.
Nah, man, y'all.
We gotta cut that.
Y'all stop pulling me by the neck. Anytime I mention wide receivers, y'all start to yank me up like I can't even talk wide receivers. You ain't
saying about nobody else on your schedule except for them was just like his ass. I'm not saying it's great, but it's just like you took that and was like made a reason to come at. It just felt weird. It was like, why?
No, bro, we're talking about the Green Bay wide receiving core. We're talking about and I like how you. Let me tell you something, DJ. I like how you switched and tried to throw in tight ends and shit. But when I do that for the Falcons, you guys at me. You at me every time I mention Kyle Pitts. So you cannot bring up their tight ends to try to bolster their wide receivers and then try to disrespect Atlanta. So can I throw Kyle Pitts into the argument? Let's have a discussion then.
Mike.
Okay,
Okay.
but now you bringing up rookie tight ends that hasn't done shit. But I'm not allowed to bring up Kyle Pitts though.
Did he say weapons or wide receivers?
I said wide receiving room was poor.
Yeah, he said the wide receiver.
That was my specific, and then you guys jumped out
no
the window
weapon
on that.
You said give him no weapons. That's what you said.
You said they didn't give Aaron Rodgers or something no weapons.
But I said
that was in reference to the wide receiver room because he said poo. So that was a reference to the wide receiver. That triggered
everybody. You brought up the weapons. I said traditionally they don't go after skill players in the first round. Yes, they haven't. We're talking about tight ends that you're talking about they drafted in later rounds. But we're talking about the 4 wide receivers that were on the board that went off consecutively in the first round. Green Bay passed on all 4 of those guys. How can we dismiss that? And we're saying they passed on all of those guys for Dobbs and Watson. We're talking about the same 2 wide receivers that Aaron Rodgers shitted on all of last year, saying these guys don't know what the hell they're doing out there. They can't hold on to the ball. Dobbs, who was dropping passes through 13 to 14 games last year. Christian Watson, who turned up the last quarter of the season, who, had like 2 big-ass 2 games, who one of his biggest highlights before that was the drop of a wide open touchdown pass week 1. So now I'm supposed to bow down and I'm not supposed to comment on those guys not being good when all the narrative all last year was that they were ass. Now I'm supposed to keep off their fucking grass. But they've been ass all of last season. Now I got to keep off their grass because, hey, Drake London, he's not good. Yo, Mac Hollins, he's not good. Don't bring up Kyle Pitts. He's not a wide receiver. You can't bring up Kyle Pitts. So I have all of these freaking restrictions, and I can't even comment on damn Green Bay wide receiving core. Come on, man. Let's move it on, bro. Let's move it on. I can't even bring up Kyle Pitts.
I gotta go further.
But you can bring up Musgraves. Who?
But you bring up Kyle Pitts who got hurt.
Who? Don't disrespect Kyle Pitts in favor of Musgrave, dog, because your football knowledge is gonna take a negative 1,000 for doing that.
He got 3 touchdowns in 2 years.
What does that mean, bro? Julio Jones used to have 2 or 3 touchdowns for 2 years, but he was still top 2-3 wide receiver in the game.
I'm just saying they both have it. Pitts has gone over 1,000 yards. We know what Pitts is. And if you want to include him with weapons, then he got to be included too. I agree. Let's move. But my whole thing is the way that you just attack Green Bay is the same reason everybody always say your receivers ass. So if I attack them, then damn it, I'm coming the same way you just came for them. So don't be getting mad at me for coming at them that way.
Feel free to come at my wide receiver core.
So what the problem is,
Sean? I am going to defend myself where I see it fit and reasonable. And if it's something as far as bowing down to Carolina Panthers wide receiving room, the Green Bay Packers wide receiving room, I will be damned. Buffalo Bills, yeah, you got it. Miami Dolphins, you fucking got it. You won't hear me mention anything. But I'll be damned if I throw praise on Christian Watson, Dobbs. Nigga, Aaron Rodgers didn't even like those dudes. Am I right? Right. He didn't even trust them on the field last year. Right. But, I'm not saying that Drake London, and I didn't say that to compare and contrast Atlanta. You guys automatically did that. I just said that they didn't have. I just said the wide receiver core was cool. I don't know how that meant that you guys. I don't know how that brought it up my wide receiver room. You could have just disagreed and said that, hey, I don't think they're trash because of X, Y, and Z. But you don't think they're trash because they're better than my team. I don't really think that's a valid argument. Like, why are they good? What can you give me some pointers as to why? I know we don't went on a tangent. Can you give me some pointers as to why Green Bay Packers wide receiver core is good?
Sean, they're not much different than your team.
Okay. So I just shouldn't. I shouldn't have. Said
Nobody
it.
said you
I'm
should.
not allowed to say it because
No one
my
said you
team is
should.
trash.
I
My
just
bad.
say they're not much different than your team. They got some good guys on defense, and they got a running back that's really good, catch out of the backfield well, and they got a tight end in this draft and some weapons out there that haven't proven much. Very similar.
And secondary is a beast. Jair Alexander,
Yeah.
one of the top 3. It depends on what you like in a cornerback, but he wouldn't get outside of the top 3, even if you have a preference at cornerback. He is a dog. He sticks like glue. So their secondary, Devondre Campbell, who we know very well here, who was an All-Pro 2 years ago. You know, we would love to have him here this year, but defensively, we know what Green Bay is. They're a solid team. They have been a solid team for the past since LaFleur has been there. So I don't, they missed the playoffs last year, but they have always been a solid football team, with under LaFleur, even with, Aaron Rodgers' struggles last year. So much respect. Yeah, so don't let me seem like I'm disrespecting Green Bay as a team. Not disrespecting Green Bay as a team. My whole thing is we're getting Jordan Love at the right time. Second game of the year, and with the wide receiving core that he has by the second game of the year, I don't really think they're not going to be in a veteran type of groove at that point. I hope not. Could be wrong, but who are we on, man? We still on the
CB.
Falcons, bro? We still on the Falcons?
What up, CB? What's good with you, man? We need to get on this Saints talk with you. Can you hear us?
Yo.
Oh, there you go.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, dog. If you don't know,
can y'all hear me? How I'm sounding is my.
Yeah, you good on our end.
Y'all hear me pretty good?
Nah, we hear you good.
Yeah.
Give me a few seconds. I'm about to get on my phone because it's lagging on my end.
Yeah, I can hear you lagging.
Yeah, I hear a little bit. Yeah.
That damn Carolina internet y'all got up there, man.
Look. Well, I can't with that week 1, man. They did us justice, Sean. This was perfect. They've been hearing us for us all off season, man. And they said, you know what? Let's go ahead and knock this out week 1. I can't wait, bro. I was watching old film of even last year. I'm like, ooh, they gonna get it. They gonna get it. We would tear that offensive line up.
Kyle Pitts, Kader Patterson. These are receiving threats as well, man. This is not just a Drake London and everybody else show.
Oh, here we go. So who else said something about that?
My man Dre Murphy, man. Dre Murphy in there holding it down. Salute to my guy. You got T-Money in there. It's he's gonna hate regardless. So
interesting, man.
But you give us well, we gotta finish this off at least.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You gotta bring it back. Your ceiling and your floor for this schedule, Sean.
Hey, I think the floor is 6. The floor is 6. The ceiling is 11. I go 11. 11 ceiling, floor 6.
That's lower than what y'all won. So I'm surprised that 7 is in the floor.
No. I think 6. Things can go wrong. I think the worst that can happen, 6.
But we're talking like relatively healthy. We're not going to really throw injuries in there because I'm not.
Yeah. And to be fair, I believe Arthur Smith has overachieved every single year. So
I found it interesting that you said 6.
So he said the floor though. You never know what can happen.
That's the floor. That. I mean, I'm not gonna say the floor is 9 wins.
Right.
8-9 wins. Because things could not. The run game could not be as potent. You know, something may not click or whatever. You know that this is like worst
This is
case
outside
scenario.
of injuries, right? This is outside.
Right,
Of injuries.
this is outside. This is outside
Okay,
of.
I just want to make sure it's outside of
You're
injuries.
talking about. I'm talking about just player performance.
Okay.
Right. If what we built, you know, doesn't all the way gel, I think the floor of that is 6 games.
Okay.
But I think we can get up to 11 games. I'm not gonna say anything about that. I don't.
Okay.
You really anything above 11 above is kind of like elite level play. I'm not saying we're elite level team. If you're 12 and above, you play some elite fucking football that year.
And that's why that's my ceiling. Because that's as high as I think we can get is elite.
Right. But you said 12, 13 though.
Yeah, 12 to 13.
God damn.
You think Bryce Young about to do that?
Oh no. I don't think we're gonna do that. That's my ceiling, right? That's as high as I think we can get. And that's if all things go perfect. That's what I think. But my floor was what, 5 to 6? That's what I said, 5 to 6 wins. So, you know, I got a high ceiling, and I believe my floor is where it should be.
Right. All right. Cool. So little CB came in, so we're gonna back it up. We're gonna have 2 different perspectives here from the Saints. So basically looking at your schedule, I'm about to pull up right now.
12 and 5.
You kind of went over your teams. I think many of us kind of agree that this is a very favorable schedule. We had TJ on a little earlier. He said his main issue was Dennis Allen. So he can't get overly excited, but he wasn't going to give us a number. He wasn't going to give us the floor and the ceiling. What's the worst, the best. So I guess, CB, you're going to be the assigned one to tell us how you feel about the schedule and what's your floor and ceiling for your team.
Ooh, I'm looking at it. I'm gonna give a little walkthrough. It might change. I'm gonna say this. First off, man, my apologies for being late, man. Trying to tender to my lady. She under the weather, but
Feel you.
Hey, man, gotta take care of home first.
Feel you, boy.
Right. But let's see the schedule. I really don't get into the strength of schedule like that. In a lot of cases, unless you like the Chiefs just don't won the Super Bowl or something like that. But for us, the Saints, I mean, we didn't make the playoffs last season, so I can't say, this schedule looked favorable. And then at that, teams is getting better year after year. You got trades and stuff that happen. Because the way I view Green Bay compared to when A-Rod was there is totally different now. I don't know what to expect from Jordan Love. So you got factors like that, but starting out with Tennessee, you can go ahead and mark a W. They got a QB carousel going on. I don't know why they brought Malik Willis in, and this source is saying they might get rid of him after one season. So I don't know how that's looking. Derrick Henry was in trade rumors, so we don't know. I really don't know what their vision is, whether they're going to try to just start from scratch and start with the young QB so expectations can dwindle down, or if they're going to compete with Ryan Tannehill. I don't know. But I'm going to get at a W. It's going to be at the crib.
Give us some wins and losses. Let's go.
Carolina, Bryce Young. That's a W. It's a W right there. They swept us, so I mean it's about time for us to come up to Charlotte and win. Green Bay, a W. Tampa, really, DJ really not trying to.
Hey man, go ahead, man. Do what you do.
But let me just get a win total right quick. Let's see. Tennessee win, Carolina win, Green Bay win, Tampa Bay win. I see us at 4-0 after first 4 weeks. Let's see. New England, we're going up to New England. I'm going to say we lose that game. So 4-1. We go out to Houston. We win in that 5-1. Jacksonville at the crib. I'm gonna say 6-1. Then you got Indy going out to Indy. I think Indy gonna surprise some folks. So I'm gonna just say 6-2. Then Chicago come to the crib. Chicago is 7-2. We go out to Minnesota. Minnesota, they been our kryptonite. So I'm gonna say we lose that. So that's gonna be 7-3. We're going to 7-3 into the bye. Then we're going out to Atlanta. That's gonna be 8-3. Then Detroit.
Damn.
You doing CP now?
Bro, y'all would never let me do this shit.
Nah, hey, nah,
Never let me do this. Go ahead.
DJ,
They treat the guest.
Detroit coming to the crib.
Bro. They gassing you up.
Detroit coming to the crib. That's gonna be 9-3. Let's see, Carolina coming to the crib. I think it's our time with Carolina. Let me be. We're gonna split at some point. I don't know if it's gonna be at home or away. I'm gonna just say we take the L, so that's gonna be 9-4. Okay, then the Giants coming to the crib. That's gonna be 10-4. Then we go out to LA. LA gave up Jalen. I'm gonna just say 11-5. And then we got Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, we're gonna sweep Tampa, so that's gonna be 12. What did I say? 12-4
right now.
Yeah, 12.
Okay, 12.
Yeah. We
12
finished off and wait.
And then Atlanta, we're gonna lose 12-5. That's just by looking.
Oh.
So I'm just saying 12-5 just by looking at it right now. But when it comes to reality, the way we was playing last year, at times, and TJ was pointing out, I was tuned in when he was talking. I mean, he brought up DA. I mean, coaching plays a part in a lot of these ball games. I know the Saints, we've had history of losing to rookie quarterbacks. And I'm not talking about within the division. I'm talking about like RG3. I remember RG3 came to the Superdome week 1, lit it up against us. I remember, I don't forgot the dude's name. It was from the Browns. It wasn't Colt McCoy, but it was somebody else. One of the old, he came out of college, he was older. I don't forgot his name, but he came to the Superdome, lit it up. And then there was also other, just rookie QBs that gave us issues. Marcus Mariota, Tennessee, and they came to the crib. They beat us. So we're playing a lot of rookie QBs. We're playing, of course, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson. Who else we got? Chicago, Justin Fields. He young. By the time we get to Detroit, we don't know how that situation gonna play out. Far as with Hooker, do they trade Goff or I don't know how that plays out. Do they redshirt them the full year like they say, or do Hooker come in? So we're gonna be playing a lot of fresh new QBs. Just looking at this schedule, the only QBs that's gonna be veteran in that veteran range is if Tannehill stay with if he start for Tennessee, you got him. You got Lawrence from Jacksonville. You got Matt Jones. And Kirk Cousins if they decide to roll with him.
You got Golf too.
And Golf. So that's 5 possible. And it could be less than that if we don't know the situation with Golf or Cousins. So we looking at a lot of fresh QBs that could possibly be there for us. But I just know we known for letting amateur QBs, and I mean by that, I'm talking about like rookies, second year guys come in and beat us. So I'm not gonna say I'm not confident, but I'm not, sitting here just smiling like I'm real confident. No, we still gotta do some work, but just an eye test, quick eye test. I can see this being 12-5 for us. If we come out and do what we're supposed to do. We got the roster, Derek Carr. We don't have to rely on him to do everything. That's the thing. A lot of people, we don't gotta rely on him like the Chiefs gotta rely on Patrick Mahomes. I'm just bringing up him because they have to rely on Patrick Mahomes to get that offense going.
That was the quarterback you were talking about.
You got pieces and stuff, but we don't have to fully rely on Derek Carr. I mean, we got Pro Bowl in the backfield. We're gonna have Pro Bowls at receivers. I mean, we got pieces. We just added. I'm not gonna put him as a starter yet, but I think he's gonna give us some good quality playing time. And Foster from the Raiders. I mean, so we looking good offensively. Defensively, it's really not, no time to really talk about that because we already know we got the best defense I know on this panel right now. So, I mean, y'all know what time it is with our defense. Just offensively, we got to get things together. That's what was holding us back. That was holding us back.
I mean, and all right. So the way I look at this is that CB just gave for everybody in the chat and trying to come at my boy. He gave his ceiling. I'm hoping that's what he did.
That's your ceiling, right? Yeah.
The ceiling is 12. Yeah.
And so I think I think it's fair for him to have that as his ceiling. He can went through and floor.
Oh, my floor. My floor would be 7. It'd be a 7 wins.
Yeah.
So 7 the bottom, and then 12 is the ceiling. I see T Money saying CB ought to be ashamed of what? Ashamed of what?
No, I'm saying
we playing a lot of freshy QBs, no?
Not like if I'm coming in here right as a Panther fan and I haven't won more than 7 games in 4 straight years, but yet I'm able to come in and say my ceiling is 12 with him 13. Why can't he come in with the same type of perspective with his team right now, looking at this favorable schedule? They got the second easiest schedule in the NFL. So to me, I think it's a fair assessment. Now, do I personally believe they're going to get there? No, that's not this conversation right now. We're just letting him get off of looking at this schedule, face value, what he thinks them wins could be. And to me, as someone that's within the division, I think it's fair for him to feel that. Because it could turn out to go exactly that way on the high end if everything goes perfect.
Fast. Because, I mean, just looking at the schedule, I mean, damn near every team we play is going to have a freshie at QB. I mean, and it can possibly be, just say if Minnesota do away with Kurt, they put a freshie in there. I don't know who backing them up, but just say they do. Just say Detroit decides to go with Hooker. Hooker just show out in training camp or, just say something like that. The only teams that's going to have a for sure starter is Jacksonville, Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Matt Jones. And everybody else is fresh. So 3 out of the 17 opponents, 3 out of the 17 games, we're going to be playing fresh.
But that's too. And just before you go in, DJ, on this, man, I look at the NFC, right? The final 4 quarterbacks left in the just in football were on rookie contracts. They were younger quarterbacks. So to me, when you have younger quarterbacks, the rest of the team can be built pretty good. And so just the Dennis Allen thing for him to not ever, I think his highest win total was last year with 7 wins, and just think that he's gonna go get a double-digit win season. That's something to consider. So that's why I feel you when you said your floor was 7.
Right? Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I'm just being real and honest. I'm saying that we got a track history of, losing to a freshie QB. And I brought up Dennis Allen. I mean, I got to see how he come out this season. I mean, can he improve as a head coach? It's a lot of factors. But just looking at the eye of my roster, doing the eye test on my roster, I absolutely believe that the ceiling is 12. I believe we can get around that range of wins if we go out and do what we're supposed to do.
All right, DJ, I want to hear from you. We ain't heard from you yet.
What on Saints?
Well, with CB. Go ahead, CB. My bad, CB.
No, that's my fault. I just wanted to say this with the Derek Carr thing. A lot of people, y'all saying that we seen Derek Carr, and first off, Derek Carr was a rookie, number one. So the man only played 4 or 5 games with DA before DA got out of there. So what you mean you seen them together? Derek Carr is a whole nother player than he was his first 3-4 games as a Oakland Raider. So no, you haven't seen them together yet. You hadn't seen him with a elite defense. We just gotta wait and see. Now DA, we've seen DA last season. My squad had enough for him to pull out more wins than 7. Our offense atrocious. We sitting here getting swept by backup QBs in Carolina. No way Carolina should have swept us. That last game of the season, that was atrocious. Atrocious offensive performances. So it's more on DA. For me, it's more on DA than Derek Carr to me. Because with Derek Carr, and I'm not giving him no pass, it's a wait and see with me. I'm going to give everybody a fresh opportunity that's in a fresh situation. Derek Carr, this is a new situation. Of course, I'm going to give him a fresh start. If he don't come out and perform this year, it ain't no waiting around. DA, I wanted him gone last season, but we brought him back. So I had no choice but to hope the man change something around. Before as Derek Carr, if he got a first start, we're going to see. This season right here, going to see is he what a lot of folks are saying, about average at best. We're going to see. Or do he got potential to, raise his game? I've never said the man is an elite guy, like a top 5, that range. But I think, in this situation, with the pieces he have, if we stay healthy, I believe he can be playing top 10 QB player. Top 10 because he got a lot of options. He can make sound decisions. He can make safe decisions. That's why I was so high on Jameis last year before he got taken out, because Jameis had pieces around him. And if he would have had Michael Thomas as a safety blanket, which obviously he didn't because Mike got hurt, I believe that would have helped Jameis out tremendously when he got back from injury.
Man, DJ.
What's up?
Go ahead, man. Because I just said enough, and I don't want. I'll keep going, but boy.
Wait, Derek Carr started 16 games. Did he play with DA as head coach? That's what I'm at.
That's what he's saying. DA got fired within the season, so he didn't play.
He didn't play 16 games with DA. You stopped the cap, Trill One.
I did.
What kind of fan is Trill One?
In Carolina, but
get your boy.
That's my guy.
It's gonna be. I think it'll be poetic justice that the player that they brought in as a rookie, got him fired. Now he brought him in as a free agent. Can that also possibly happen? when he gets exposed as a head coach. And Derek Carr is not the savior that he expects Derek Carr to be, which he wasn't that rookie year. After he went he won 4 games the first 2 years was the ending call for him. But overall, with this schedule, I already said it. This schedule, kind of what you talked about, is very favorable for the New Orleans Saints. If this is like you kind of said, you marked it the best. I guess this is a passing league, right? So I mean, the best quarterbacks that you guys are going to be going against is Lawrence, Cousins, Goff, Stafford. And I'm going to just stop it there. I'm not giving Daniel Jones nothing. I'm not giving anybody else anything. And that's it. Everything else, like you said, is young, still trying to, make their way through the NFL. You don't know what Tennessee it might be. Will Levis. I mean, hell, all we freaking know, they might come out the door and just throw him out there and say after. But yeah, this is one of those schedules. If DA can't get 9 to 12 wins, what you guys are saying, I think he should be fired. Honestly, because I don't see it getting any easier this year with the setup that y'all have and what he should be able to do. Y'all should tear it down and everything if y'all don't get hell. I'll even say double digits with DA. That's how I'm looking at this schedule. This schedule, I wish I had a schedule like this.
That's a fact because it's a lot of inexperience as far as with the QB. And I forgot about Stafford with the Rams. Yeah, so you add Stafford in there. But yeah, man, it's gonna be looking like a lot of young pups that we playing. So
you compete with almost any defense on this schedule. Y'all have had a top 10 defense for the last 4 years. So that's not going to change. Derek Carr is supposed to be the equalizer on your offense. There's no excuse. You got to get at least 9, 10 wins. 10 more than I think 9. If you get 9, I hope y'all keep Dennis out. Because that motherfucker ain't good. That's all I got on that. This schedule is not that hard. Period. All right. Let's see. Let's have this chat. Finish up with some of the stuff in chat. I didn't get everything on here. Back it up. Let's see. Team Money talking about Dennis Allen here. This is very true. Dennis Allen has never shown the win. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I said he has to get at least 10 wins. He has to. He has to show that he can actually do that in this league. Kind of like Arthur Smith a little bit.
That's a fact. Shout out to Jerry, the OG Jerry in the building.
Yeah, I saw him down there.
Shout out to all the Saints fans that tuned in tonight. I can barely see the comments, Jerry. I see you say Dana. Is that our Dana? The who that nation Dana that's in? If so, shout out to her. Who that?
See enough of that. All right. I think that's really all we got. Any final thoughts before we close this out? We already at 2.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun football season, man. I think this division is wide open. Anybody can kind of jump in and take it over, get hot, compete against each other. I'm kind of glad in a way that, not really because I got a new coaching staff, but I'm glad that we get 2 divisional games right off the bat. And one of those games against the New Orleans Saints, week 2 on Monday Night Football. Thank you, Bryce Young. Thank you, Frank Wright, for allowing us to get a primetime game, Monday Night Football. And Derek Carr. Thank you.
Or is it going to be Andy Dalton?
I'm okay with Andy Dalton. I actually like Andy Dalton. So if Andy Dalton's starting, it doesn't really matter to me who. I just feel like we will get the win because I think Dennis Allen's going to mess it up. And we won 3 out of the last 4 against the Saints. So,
okay. You final thoughts, CB?
Yeah, man. Just far as the division, it's wide open. I mean, I see my squad being the favorite, and that ain't just being a homer because it's my squad. Like it really is like that with Tampa. I think Tampa Bay fans, a few was not coming to grips that they really about to take a steep drop. So I think they vision need to be a little different than what they're trying to portray it to be. Atlanta, they have gotten better. They got some of decent pieces, defensive coordinator. So I'm gonna sit here and cap. They gonna be better. At least defensively, they will. They gonna see an improvement. So they got a lot of our guys over there. And then with the Carolina Panthers, I believe that's going to be a very tough opponent in the division. They really did do some work. They got veteran receiver Adam Thielen. Thielen at this stage now is better than what DJ Moore ever was. So that's an upgrade for them, just that move right there. To put that along with some of the other pieces they got. The running back, of course, losing McCaffrey. McCaffrey wasn't there, of course, but the QB, I don't know if it's going to be Bryce Young and Andy Dalton for the most of the season to start off. At some point, Bryce will be in there, but defensively, yeah, they got good pieces on that side as well. So they going to be, they're not going to be no slouches. And then with the New Orleans Saints, it's pretty self-explanatory. Our defense is there. Everybody on this panel, along with the fans, know that our kryptonite was Dennis Allen and a solid quarterback. And what I mean by solid, I'm not talking about a game manager. That's what Andy Dalton was. We Saints fans, we watched the games. There was a few games where he got off a little bit, but the majority, he's just a game manager making the right decisions. We needed more than that. So we're going to see what happens, man. Like I said, everybody, going to back their squad up. But just being honest, I think the Saints is the favorite, right now. And that's pretty much – I do want to say this, and I'm done. Carolina fans, please stop thinking that y'all division winners. Because y'all got Bryce Young. Y'all don't know how that man going to pan out. So just stop, man, with all this talking about Super Bowl playoff contention. Like, come on now. Y'all got a puppet quarterback. You think he about to just smooth sail like that? Pat Mahomes ain't even do that. Not his first year. So come on now. Let's not overlook things, huh?
All right, CB, you gotta hang around now. You making some words. We're gonna get you back on another time. But I guess to finish up for me, look at these schedules. Tampa Bay does look like they're on track to end up in fourth in this division. Anything better than fourth, this division's in trouble. With the schedule set up the way it is, not a big fan at all. But I do think we got the right people up top. And, I think we've also handled this offseason correctly. So even with this schedule trying to set us up, and it might be that too. They might be like, hey, this plan that we put in place and this schedule that's basically in place to try to, out of anybody in the division, kind of screw us over, is put us on track to get one of the better, quarterbacks coming out of the draft next year. So, there could be that extra asterisk at the end of or that light at the end of the tunnel. And this schedule is going to make us better as a team, and it's going to bring us together, I feel like. But, yeah, man, this is a rough schedule. I'm not, I'm excited for the year. Don't get it twisted. I'm not like, this is bull. It is some bull, but, yeah, I'm still excited for what to come with this year. And y'all see what you tune in. You'll see why when we have the other topics. That's it, man. But there's Mike.
I was eating, my bad, y'all. I ain't ate yet, I ain't eating.
But yeah, man. Appreciate everybody coming in. Like, subscribe, share. If you like, definitely CB, appreciate you coming through. Like I said, he's with the WDN chat line. Go over there, check him out. Him and his boys over there. You know, I warned them before. I'm gonna give y'all another warning later on this offseason, but right now I'm gonna let you have what you have. But appreciate you coming on. We know we're gonna collab and continue doing what we do. But you already know it's your boy DJ. Big Talk Sports. Appreciate everybody tuning in for as long as they did. You know, that's all I got. There, Mike, take us out.
We out.
Hey.